Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to the session. This is Sweta Roy, your English Master Teacher at Vedantu. Today we are going to start with a wonderful chapter, A Triumph of Surgery. It's a very humorous chapter, guys. It's about a dog named Tricky. So, pet lovers, animal lovers out there, give me a quick high five because here we would be encountering a very cute dog, okay, that is Tricky, and we will see the activities of the dog. We will really find it very amusing, and we will also have a very important moral in the story. So very interesting story. Let's begin the story, guys. Super excited to check A Triumph of Surgery. Now the very title, A Triumph of Surgery, what's the meaning of the word triumph? Triumph means victory, right? Victory of surgery. Isn't that does it not arouse your curiosity? What kind of surgery is the author talking about? So I have already talked about the main character of the poem. He is a dog. Okay, the name of the dog is Tricky. So is the surgery related to Tricky? Let's find it out with the help of this amazing story, A Triumph of Surgery by James Herriot. So you can see a doctor, you can also see a dog. So you can also check the title, A Triumph of Surgery. So somewhere we will definitely associate the surgery with the dog, right? So what kind of surgery can it be? And how was it triumphant? Let us find it out, guys. Those of you who do not know me, I am Sweta Roy, your English Master Teacher at Vedantu. I have more than a year of teaching experience. I have qualified CTET. I have mentored more than 20,000 students, both online and offline. And my motto is to unleash the power within you. All of you should feel empowered because literature and language gives you the power to express yourself. So quickly type in the chat box, everyone, empowered. Okay? So let's begin with the word of the day. So word of the day has been, the word of the day is shibboleth. It's a noun. So congratulations. I'm sure everyone is super excited to use this word in its own form, right? In your own form, right? So please do use this word in your own sentences in the comment section. It means a custom, principle, or belief distinguishing a particular class or people of group. So it has been used here. The majority, under the influence of vague 19th century shibboleths, understood him to be associating himself with the doctrine that every nation has a right to be a sovereign state. Wonderful usage. And with that, we will start. Of course, we will check out the schedule, weekly schedule. Please check that out and take a screenshot so that you do not miss out on any important notification. And for that, guys, you need to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss out on any important notification. And also don't forget to post your word of the day at the end in the comment section. And with that, we have entered into Homework Rockers. So congratulations, Homework Rockers, for Animals One Shot. Ananya, Abhay, Kushi, Uday, Priya, R. Maniva Sagar. Okay. Am I pronouncing it correct? I hope so. Dev Prakash Patel. Very good, people. Keep posting your homework answers in the homework section, in the comment section, so that we can take up your names for the next homework rocker. So, if you want to be the next homework rocker, guys, don't forget to post your homework answers. And now we'll start with the rapid fire round. Let's quickly have a look whether you have understood and whether you remember the previous poem and whether you have gone through the video of animals which we have done or covered in the previous session. So, what's the meaning of demented? This is a very important question related to your vocabulary, guys. Very important question. Behaving horribly, behaving irrationally due to anger, distress, or excitement, behaving softly, or behaving rationally. What do you think, guys? What is the meaning of demented? Please post your answers right now in the chat. Can we have a quick look? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look, guys. Behaving irrationally due to anger, distress, or excitement. That is demented. Demented is actually being crazy. Okay. Okay. So next is, what is the attitude of human about those who lived thousands of years ago? They kneel, they stand, they fly none. Very, very simple question, guys. This is a very simple question. And let's check out the answer in 3, 2, 1. Yes, they kneel. How many of you have got all the answers correct? Both the answers correct. Give me a quick thumbs up in the chat. And now we have an interesting riddle for all of you. Okay, what's the riddle, guys? No matter how little or how much you use me, you change me every month. What am I? Very simple. Think about the answer and we will see the answer at the end of the session. Till then, you have time to think about the answer. And now let's move ahead with the summary, after which we would be dealing with the vocabulary. And of course, we have lots and lots of quiz questions in between the summary of the chapter. So please listen to the summary very, very attentively so that you are able to solve the quiz questions. And I want full participation from you people. Can you promise me at the beginning of the session that you would remain throughout the session and participate wholeheartedly in the session? Yes? Give me a quick promise in the chat. Everyone, promise? Very good. So guys, before moving ahead, show your Josh by hitting the like button, and don't forget to share the video amongst your friends and also subscribe to the channel. So first we will see about James Alfred Wright. Okay, his pen name is James Herriot, and he has used his pen name over here. He was a veterinary surgeon. So here we will be talking about James Herriot, who is at once the veterinary surgeon, the author, and the narrator of the story. Okay? So he had used many of his experiences as a veterinary surgeon to write a series of books consisting of stories about animals and their owners. And this is also one such story, okay, which is talking about an animal, Tricky, and his owner, Mrs. Pumphrey. So let's check, let's delve into the story and see what kind of relationship did Tricky share with the owner, and what about this triumph of surgery, and where, what kind of surgery is the author talking about? Okay, so the story starts when Mrs. Pumphrey is a rich lady, okay, and she takes her dog Tricky for a walk outside. Now this is her dog Tricky, okay. Now at that time, the veterinary surgeon, Mr. Herriot, sees the dog and he was shocked to see the dog. Why? Because the dog looked like a bloated sausage. You know what a sausage is, right? And it was bloated, absolutely, very big, okay? It was very fat. The dog was so fat and unhealthy that it looked like it has been compared to a bloated sausage, okay? Now, having when the veterinary surgeon saw this sight, he was shocked, and he was also concerned at the health of the dog, Tricky. And being concerned, he advised Mrs. Pumphrey to stop giving him the extra snacks in between, because Tricky's only fault was that he was very greedy and he could not refuse any food item. And Mrs. Pumphrey used to give him extra snacks between his meals, okay, you know, cod liver oil and whatnot, Horlicks, okay, these kind of snacks, right? She used to give him. So the doctor advised him to have a check on his diet and stop giving him the extra amount of food in between his meals, and also give him proper exercise. Okay? And now we have the question for you guys. What did the doctor advise? Cut his food, give him more exercise, keep him on a very strict diet, all of the above. Just now I told you guys about the doctor's advice. So I want the answer from you people. Okay, can we check it out, guys? Have you all posted your answers in the chat? You said that you would participate wholeheartedly in the session. Okay, so you cannot breach your promise, right? All right, so let's check your answers in 3, 2, 1. Yes, all of the above. This is an important question, guys. Please take a note. What was the doctor's advice? All the 3 pointers you have to mention if this is asked as your answer. Okay, question I mean. Okay. But Mrs. Pumphrey is very lenient. She is very pampering. She pampers her dog so much that she is not able to refuse anything. Okay? So as a result, too much of pampering and without disciplining the dog had taken a toll on his health, and he fell sick. He started developing bouts of vomiting. He also refused to have food, right? So he became very listless, no energy he had, and he became sick. Question for you. What problem does Mrs. Pumphrey think Tricky has? So when the dog became ill, what did Mrs. Pumphrey think about the dog? What did he have? What problem did he have according to Mrs. Pumphrey? Diarrhea, malnutrition, allergy, all of the above. What do you think, guys? Think about Mrs. Pumphrey and think about the dog, and what do you think Mrs. Pumphrey would have, would consider as Tricky's problem? Okay, let's check out in 3, 2, 1. Yes, she thought that since Pumphrey is not eating anything, so he would become malnourished. Okay, so malnutrition is what Mrs. Pumphrey thought Tricky had. Okay, so then the narrator, Mr. Harriet, somehow takes Tricky to the hospital for treatment, knowing that Mrs. Pumphrey would not leave the dog. So it was very difficult for Mr. Harriet to somehow take him to the surgeon, to the hospital, for surgery, for treatment, basically, right? Because Mrs. Pumphrey was so attached to the dog that she refused to leave the dog. And even while he was taking away the dog, you would be really amazed to find out that Mrs. Pumphrey started throwing away all the coats, everything that she had kept for Tricky, so that Tricky did not face any problem. So Tricky even had different kind of coats for to suit different weather types. So don't you think, guys, Tricky was definitely over pampered, right? And he took the dog and put a bed for him in his surgery. Surgery here refers to the hospital. Okay? For 2 days, the dog did not even move and did not eat anything because he was very ill. He was severely ill. He was lying listless, okay, without any movement. Question for you, an interesting one, guys. Which of the following pictures describe Tricky's condition at the starting of the chapter? Starting of the chapter. Come on, people. Very simple, guys. What do you think? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one? First, second, third, fourth. Please post your answers in the chat. Okay, let's see in 3, 2, 1. Yes, it is the second one. He was absolutely without any energy, lying listless, without having any enthusiasm or desire to have food. Okay? Now, one day, he wanted to go outside, and there he started playing with the bigger dog. So after 2 days, when the narrator kept him in a strict diet, water diet, he did not give him any food. And on the third day, he wanted to go outside. And finally, he started recovering. He also started licking the bowls of the other dog gradually. Remember that Tricky, who had completely given up eating and who was kept on water diet for 2 days, strict water diet, he gradually started licking the bowls of the other dogs. And then his condition started improving rapidly. He also then started fighting for his meals with the other dogs. So that definitely was a sign of great improvement. Question for you people. What did the dogs know about the food? Last ones will be liable to have competition for the leftover food. There was no competition. It wasn't good. It was the best part of the day. I'm sure you would be able to answer this question, guys. Come on. Give me answers. Give me the answers in the chat. 3, 2, 1. Yes. So last ones will be liable to have competition for the leftover food. And that's where the competition between the dogs, amongst the dogs, take place. Towards the end, when little food used to be left. Now, this news of the speedy recovery of Tricky was conveyed to Mrs. Pumphrey by Mr. Harriet. And after hearing the news of the speedy recovery of her dog, of her beloved, basically, she used to treat Tricky as her own son, right? So After hearing that news, she became overexcited and she again started to send eggs to the hospital because as she considered Tricky to become malnourished, so she did not want to take any chance now. She thought that now since he is recovering, he needed food, energy food after the recovery. So she started to send eggs. So you can understand how Tricky was over pampered, right? But Mr. Harriot and his partners, obviously, he would not be able to give eggs right now to Tricky because right now he has recovered, right? So he could not afford to make him unhealthy again by giving him extra supplies, right? So what did Harriet do? He was so very, Mr. Harriot also had a comic side to his personality, right? And this is evident from the fact that he and his partner started enjoying those food at his breakfast, the eggs at their breakfast. And also, please note, Mrs. Pumphrey started sending wine as well, okay, so that Tricky's blood, Tricky's blood improves. So that is again something which is very, very humorous. So these are, these are the humorous elements in the story. Okay? So again, it shows how unnecessarily Mrs. Pumphrey used to pamper Tricky. But again, Mr. Harriot used to consume those. Okay. Not only this, when she started sending brandy in the bottle, so what all did she send? See, wine, brandy, eggs, that too for a dog. Now, what would you say about this? What is your opinion, guys? Okay, what is your opinion on this point that, Mrs. Pumphrey started sending bottles of wine, brandy and eggs for a dog? What do you think, guys? Please put your thoughts in the chat. It is, of course, hilarious, but at the same time, it is also warning us. It serves as a warning not to over pamper your pets. Okay? Yes? Be it pet or be it your child, over pampering leads to harmful results. Yes, guys? So now, question for you. Why is the narrator tempted to keep Tricky as a permanent guest? Because he loved Tricky, he thought Mrs. Pumphrey wouldn't take good care of Tricky. They would lose all luxuries like eggs, brandy, wine, none of the above. Very simple, guys. And I told you that this reveals the humorous side of Mr. Harriot as well. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Let's check it out, guys. They would lose all luxuries like eggs, wine, and brandy. And that is why the narrator is tempted to keep Tricky so that there is a constant supply of these luxurious items so that they could have luxurious lunch every day. Okay, so after a few days, the doctor took a wise decision. Obviously, he was a good doctor. He was a good human being. He was concerned about Mrs. Pumphrey as well. He knew that Mrs. Pumphrey would be worried, and he immediately called him up and also informed her about Tricky's recovery. And Tricky was very happy to see his mistress. So when his mistress arrived to take Tricky back to home, Tricky was so very happy that he jumped onto the lap of Mrs. Pumphrey, his owner, immediately, right, and started licking his face. That shows how much Tricky also loved his mistress. Although he had a good time in the hospital playing with the other dogs, okay, the other dogs, he never had any problem. He never faced any problem befriending the other household shabby dogs in the hospital. Although he was a well-bred dog, but he was never the odd one out there. He enjoyed his stay at the hospital, but still when he saw Tricky, when he saw his mistress, he was overjoyed and he jumped from the narrator's lap to the lap of his owner, Mrs. Pumphrey, and started licking his face. And Mrs. Pumphrey was also happy, and she thought that she would never be able to thank him for all this wonder, and she said that she referred to this entire process of treatment as a triumph of surgery. So here we come to the title of the story, and we can now understand that actually no surgery took place, but Tricky was treated naturally, okay, by keeping him under water diet and gradually, giving him proper food, proper exercise. Okay, he was playing throughout, so obviously he was getting a lot of exercise. So in the natural way, Tricky was treated. So after seeing this, guys, what do you think about the doctor? Wasn't he not very efficient, guys? And don't you think he went out of his way to treat Tricky? And don't you think we in our society today, we do need a doctor like Mr. Harriet? Yes, everyone tell me your thoughts in the chat, please. And with that, we have the next question, interesting ones for you people. In 2 weeks, he had been transformed into a lead hard-muscled animal. Which image shows the meaning of lit? Please tell me, guys. Come on, people. Very simple, right? The first one. Yes, very, very good, people. Very, very good. Congratulations. And as I told you that she said that he had been successful in his surgery and Tricky was cured. And with that, we come to the vocabulary part, which is very important. Okay, look at the vocabulary part, guys. Bloated is excessive in size or amount. Okay, sausage, I think you have seen sausage. You are well aware of what a sausage is. Okay, it's a food item. All right, and it's in the form of a cylindrical length, and it's very huge. Okay, bloodshot is very important to know the meaning of bloodshot. It means inflamed or tinged with blood, especially as a result of tiredness. So Tricky had a bloodshot eyes when he was unhealthy at the very first starting of the chapter. Rumi is watery. You need to know this as well. Lolling is sitting in a relaxed manner. Hastened is to do something quickly. Listless is very important, guys. Lacking energy. Malnutrition, you must be knowing. Okay. Relent is become less severe. Okay. Lumbago is a pain in the muscle and joints of the lower back. Okay. Regime is a system of ordered way of doing things. Tottering, move in a feeble or unsteady way. Please take a note of the word meanings, guys. Tweed is a rough surfaced woolen cloth. Wardrobe, you know. Harness, I think you know. Distraught is very upset or worried. Take a note of all the meanings of the words, because in the next session, one-shot session, the vocabulary part, I will be definitely taking care of that with the help of MCQ questions. Okay. Bouts is short period of intense activity. Of a specific kind. So bouts of vomiting, that means a short period of vomiting, right? And then we have fortnight is important, a period of 2 weeks, 15 days. Swooned is a very important word. It comes in your exam also. A partial or total loss of consciousness, basically to faint. Okay, that's swooning, right? Wailing is crying loudly with pain. So all of these words are important for you people. And with that, let me ask you the answer for the riddle. Have you all got the answer for the riddle, guys? Yes? Okay, what's the answer? Tell me in the chat. Yes, it's a calendar. Absolutely correct. Good job, people. Good job. And before looking at the homework answer, I want to tell you guys very happy news. 100 baat ki ek baat, more than 100 Vedantu students have cleared NTSE, that is National Talent Search Examination Stage 2. Isn't that amazing? Can we have a big round of applause for our lovely students who have cleared the NTSE exam? And you can be the next one, guys, because Vedantu launches India's first live NTSE crash course, okay, where you will get mathematics, physics, chemistry, bio, mental ability tests, social studies. You can have more than 60 hours of live classes, okay, 50 plus chapter wise and 14 plus mock tests, which is going to definitely make you test ready. And classes taught live will be recorded and made available so that you can watch it anytime. You can ask doubts unlimitedly in the class and on the Vedantu app post class. You can have in-depth solution and analysis of the previous year's NTSE papers, and you can also get summary notes for all the topics, key concepts, important formula, and class recording. Plus, if you use the coupon code SWRE Pro, you are going to get a complete 10% discount. So quickly visit the link and use the coupon code SWRE Pro so that you can be now the next one who has definitely cracked NTSE subscription. Okay, sorry, NTSE exam. And with that, guys, very important homework question, which includes the moral lesson of the story that we have gone through. Excess of everything is bad. Don't you think so, guys? Yes. That is what we have seen, and that is what the author has also warned. Excess of everything is bad. In Amanda, we saw excess of disciplining, which again took a toll, which made the child suffocate. Okay, here it is excess of pampering. There is a fine line between loving and pampering, right? So comment on this in the wake of Mrs. Pumphrey's love for Tricky. So would you call it love or would you call it over pampering? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section. I would love to read out all your comments and take them up in the next session, and you get a chance to be the next homework rocker. Okay? So till then, guys, take care and don't forget to visit the link in the description box. And don't forget to hit the like button, share the video and comment on the homework question. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, guys, don't forget to do that as well. Till then, take care. Bye, everyone.